Good morning, welcome to my channel. I'm Susan, and today we're going to do pulled pork sandwiches and coleslaw, which is exactly what Will and I are having for supper tonight as it is. I have preheated my oven at 300 degrees. We're going to cook this kind of long and slow. And in the bottom of my pan here, I've got a Dutch oven. I've sliced some onions pretty thick. Now, I've got some pork shoulder here. The original recipe says 8 to 10 pounds, but it's just the two of us, and if we had 8 to 10 pounds of pulled pork, I don't know what we'd do with it. So I have 4 pounds. So I'm going to put it in on top of these onions. Put that right in there. Now, I'm going to take my glove off so if I manage to get the meat in there. Now we're going to make a rub for it. Now with the rub, I'm going to do 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. Okay, and we're going to do some salt. I'm going to do, I think, a teaspoon of salt. And let's see. I think I'll do about a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Put that in there. Now I have some ground yellow mustard. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of ground yellow mustard. Okay, I'm going to mix this together. Okay, get that all mixed up, and we're just going to pour it on. Now if you want to, you could rub this in. I'm just going to pour it on the top of the pork here and get it all coated. And then we're going to pour on some root beer. You could use, I like the flavor of root beer. A lot of people like Dr. Pepper. You could use that. Or actually you could also use a dark beer. Okay, so that's sprinkled on there. Now, I've got chipotle peppers in adobo. I am going to pull one of these peppers out here. And I'm going to cut that kind of in half. Okay, I'm going to use a little adobe over here. Now you don't want to do too much of this, especially if you don't like really hot stuff. If you don't like hot stuff, you could even leave the adobe off. Now, I've got 1 can of root beer. And I'm going to pour it kind of down the sides. I don't want to take all my seasoning off the top. You know, it says the recipe calls for 2 cans, but I think that's plenty. 1 can. So now we've got this ready to go in the oven. I'm going to take it over here. I'm going to put the lid on it. And we're going to put this in the oven, 300 degrees, for anywhere between 4 and 6 hours. So we're cooking it long and slow. I'm going to get that in here. Gosh, it's heavy. All right. Now, we're going to set that to cooking, and we're going to get this cleaned away, and then we're going to set up for our coleslaw. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we're back. We've got our pork in the oven, and in this bowl I have about a 1/2 head of shredded cabbage, and I think maybe 1 large carrot shredded. Now we're going to make the sauce for this. And we're going to start out with about 3 tablespoons of sugar. We may not use all this dressing, but we're going to make it just in case. And I want 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I start out with a vinegar base and then we doctor it up with mayo. Get this poured out so I don't pour half the jug out in one move. Okay, so 1. 2 and 3. Okay, so we got 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to kind of stir this up and see if I can get some of that sugar dissolved. If it doesn't all dissolve, you're fine. It will dissolve by the time you eat this. Okay. Okay, now to that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, stir that up, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of celery seed. I kind of like celery seed in my coleslaw. You can leave it out if you don't like it. Some people don't care for it. We do. Okay. Get that all stirred up. Pretty good. Now we're going to add about half a cup of mayo. I think I'll just kind of eyeball this instead of, and a little more here. Okay, we got about half a cup of mayo. Let's mix that in pretty good here. All right, now we're going to pour this over our cabbage and carrots. I'm not going to use all of this. I don't think. Let's see where we are. We'll just pour it up here. You can always add more. It would be tough to take it out though. You know, it's our weather has turned. We had, what was it we had in yesterday? Our temperature hit 87 degrees. I think today it's only supposed to be 73, but we'll see about that. Okay. We'll get it mixed up real good. Now this really needs to set in your refrigerator for, probably at least 4 hours. Don't want this too soupy. But that looks pretty good. I did pour in the whole thing. And it looks like we've coated everything. Got it off the bottom there. So I'm going to cover this and set it in the refrigerator. Let all those flavors get melded together. And you know what? I think we're going to be back in about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and I'll show you the final cut on the pork and the coleslaw. So have a good 4 or 5 hours. Okay, we are back. It's been about, I think about 5 hours I cooked this pork. Right now I've taken a chunk of it out. I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to shred it. Now I just normally do this with 2 forks. As you can see, it's easy enough to shred. Look at that. That's nice and done. Perfection. So we're going to get some of that fat off there. This pork had a little more fat than what I would have wanted, but hey, we'll just get it out of there. Now, there's a couple things you can do with this. You can either make your own barbecue sauce, or you can buy barbecue sauce. And I just, when it's just the two of us, I normally just pour on some ready-made barbecue sauce. Oh, let there be light. My, oh my. Okay, so we're going to put this in a bowl. Get it nice and shredded here. It doesn't have to be in big chunks or little chunks, just any way you want to shred it. I only took a portion of that out of the pan. There's more left. So what I'm going to do with what's left, I'll put it in a container or a freezer meal bag, seal a meal bag, and I'll put it in the freezer. And then we'll just take some of it camping with us, or have a quick meal at night when we're home kind of late. So, got it shredded pretty good. Now I'm just going to pour some barbecue sauce on it. Actually, we prefer Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, but any barbecue sauce that you like will work. So we're going to pour some on there. This is the quick way to do it, I know, but you know how quick and easy it is for me. Mealtime, I like something quick and easy. Okay. I have a little beagle at my feet, hoping that I'm going to flip some of this meat out of the bowl and onto the floor, which I probably won't do. So now, this bowl I've made take the coleslaw out of the refrigerator. Oh, and it's nice and moist, look at that. Okay, now what we're going to do to plate this, I've got some buns here. These happen to be sesame seed topped buns. I'm going to put some of this meat on. We're just going to pile it on here. If I need more meat, I can get another section out of the pot. You know what I might do? This is for Will. He likes a little more barbecue sauce on his. We'll pour it right on there, and we'll give him a scoop of coleslaw. There you have a quick and easy meal. Pork barbecue and coleslaw. I won't say it's quick because you had to cook the pork for about 5 hours, but it's an easy meal to do. Just put it in the oven and let it go. So, until next time, blessings to you and your family. Have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up.